My wife left me after my accident because I ruined her image. She didn't expect who I became before the accident. My wife used to tell everyone the same thing. Ethan makes me feel safe. She held my hand everywhere we went. Whenever someone asked who I was, she smiled proudly. My husband. I never imagined those would become the last words she was proud to say. It happened on a rainy night. The windshield blurred beneath heavy rain. Then, headlights, a horn, tires screaming across wet pavement. I jerked the steering wheel. Metal twisted. Glass exploded around me. The world spun. Then, nothing. When I opened my eyes, I was in a hospital. The doctor said I was lucky. Lucky to be alive. I didn't feel lucky. Months of surgeries followed. Physical therapy, pain, scars. I gained weight, lost muscle. Some mornings, I barely recognized the man staring back from the mirror, but I kept telling myself, at least I still had my wife. At first, she was incredible. She sat beside my bed, held my hand. We'll get through this. Then, little things started changing. She stopped taking selfies with me. She walked a few steps ahead in public. If someone wanted a group picture, she'd say, "Ethan, why don't you take this one?" When friends invited us out, she always found a reason for me to stay home. They'll ask too many questions. It's too crowded. You need your rest. I believed every excuse, because I trusted her. Until one night, I opened social media. Every photo of us was gone. Wedding pictures, anniversary posts, vacation memories. 3 years, erased with a few clicks. Then came the night that destroyed our marriage. Her company was hosting a celebration. I wanted to surprise her. I put on my best suit, covered my scars as much as I could. When she saw me, the smile disappeared from her face. "Ethan, what are you doing here?" "I came to support my wife." She glanced around the room, then whispered, "You shouldn't have come." Before I could answer, one of her coworkers walked over. "Who is this?" I smiled, waiting. She looked at me, then forced a smile. "This is Ethan." A pause. "My old friend." I felt something inside me break. Not because strangers didn't know me, because my own wife was ashamed to call me her husband. I turned to leave. But before I reached the door, I heard her talking to another coworker. He wasn't supposed to come. They already feel sorry for me. They keep asking what happened to my husband. I hate the way people look at me when he's around. I stopped walking. She wasn't embarrassed by the accident. She was embarrassed by me. The next morning, she came home expecting an argument. Instead, she found divorce papers on the table. She laughed. "You're ending our marriage over one misunderstanding?" I looked her in the eyes. "No, I'm ending it because yesterday was the first time you stopped pretending." She crossed her arms. "My life changed too. I never signed up for this." I nodded slowly. "I know. I just thought marriage meant staying, especially when life stopped looking perfect." She had nothing to say. She signed the papers and walked away. The first year after the divorce, I learned to walk without a cane. The day I crossed the therapy room alone, everyone applauded. I cried. Not because I was healed, because I finally believed I could be. Later, I met a young veteran who refused to leave his hospital room. He looked at my scars, then asked, "Does it ever get better?" I smiled. "It already is." Years later, that same veteran walked across a stage to receive his degree. He hugged me first. Then there was a teenage girl who lost her leg. She refused to look in a mirror. Months later, she stood in front of one, smiled, and said, "I still see me." That day, I realized my purpose had never been to recover alone. It was to help other people believe they could too. Our rehabilitation foundation grew, not because of me, because hope spreads, one life at a time. 3 years after the divorce, I was invited to speak at a charity gala. Hundreds of people filled the room. When I finished, they stood and applauded. Then something happened I never expected. A woman approached me. "You don't remember me. My son wanted to give up after his accident. You convinced him not to." Another man shook my hand. "My brother walks today because of your program." Then another, and another. Each story reminded me my scars had become someone else's hope. Standing across the room, watching all of it, was my ex-wife. She didn't interrupt. She didn't speak. She simply watched, as complete strangers thanked the man she once hid. Only after the crowd disappeared did she walk toward me. "Ethan." Her voice trembled. I was wrong. I stayed silent. Tears filled her eyes. "I thought your scars made people see you differently." I looked at her calmly. They did. She blinked. They showed me exactly who could still see my worth. She reached toward me. I stepped back, not out of anger, out of peace. Then I smiled. The accident didn't change my worth. It only changed who was able to see it. I walked away. Years ago, my wife said I made her feel safe. Today, I finally understood something. The safest place was never beside someone who loved the way I looked. It was becoming someone who knew his value even after everything changed. Because scars don't make you worth less. They reveal who was only loving the version of you that never had to fight to survive.